This is all very confusing, isn't it? Intellectually, socially, politically. Well, in the words of Jack Sparrow, let me lend a machete to your intellectual thicket. There are people out there doing things that most people would never do. There are people out there with opinions and motivations that a lot of people wouldn't understand and have never had to deal with in their lives. You have to be willing to look at it from their perspective. Let's say you were involved in something illegal that was so serious that your life was on the line. How would you react? What would you do? How far would you be willing to go to cover it up or change impressions of people who are looking at you in a different way? As your story began to unravel and your motivations became more clear, it's possible you might start calling people names out of panic and accuse them of things that you've done yourself in order to deflect blame. You might enlist people who are involved in the same thing to distract others from breaking stories or opinions in order to change the conversation. You might even go as far as releasing certain information in a limited fashion in order to satisfy people's questions without giving all the details. And then, when more questions arise, claim that that issue or subject has already been covered and say, let's just move on. Because throwing up your hands and saying, yeah, you got me, isn't an option. Truth is, this isn't really that complicated if you're willing to look at it from the other side, to understand that they don't operate like the rest of us. They're smarter, they're more entitled, and the concept of having to face justice is foreign to them because they've gotten away with things for so long. Through their own arrogance, they think that they're smarter, and intellectually, the public isn't capable of figuring any of this out. For those of you out there that have had children, especially multiple children, this should be pretty obvious, and you've seen it before. When they collude together to try to cover up their own misdeeds or mistakes, and the story starts to unravel. The only real difference is that children don't have their hands on the levers of control over your life. But unfortunately for us, these treasonous SOBs do. It's tempting to look the other way. It's tempting to throw up your hands and just walk away. But the unfortunate part and the reality of it is the further this goes, the more our lives, livelihoods, and freedoms are on the line. So if you stand back and think about it, there is no walking away.